Alright, back on the bike here. Everybody's gone now, so I got time to work now. Yeah, we lost a couple hours. Or an hour or two, whatever. Alright, I gotta figure out this wiring again. I already forgot what I figured out last time, so I gotta figure it out all over again. So I think this green one goes over to the solenoid over there. My guess this is probably... Nah, that's not that. I'm thinking maybe it's a coil wire, but the coil's already over there. The neutral stuff's already hooked up. This should be generator over here. So I'm not sure what this. This must be. This might be the wire that goes up the ignition switch. Up to here. So we'll just figure out where it goes to. That's how we do it. And my test light. Let's see. Let me just get a few tools here to check stuff with. So we got a test light. Lots of testing. Alright, so we'll figure all that out. I got all these lines figured out. I got the plug over there in the brake line. Hey, Scooby. Down in here. That's fun to get to down there. So that plugs up the brake line. So now the brakes should be more or less ready to do something with. There's some Loctite sitting over there. Kind of get my tools organized so I can find stuff again. The big shithole around here. Let me clean up anything. Alright, so we're going to diagnose where all these brake lines, or all these lines go to so I can hook them up. So first thing I gotta do is figure out where the hot wire is to there. So I got my little battery way back here, which I think I'm going to move up to here. There's room for it. Put this battery over here now. Probably should just put it right on top of the battery box. That'd be a good place for it, wouldn't it? Yeah, that'd be too easy. So first thing is hook up a ground wire. Yeah, that wasn't a good spot. There's a good spot for a ground wire. A positive wire. Keep that away from the ground. Hook up my idiot light here so I can see what gets power and what doesn't get power. So the exhaust system should be a ground maybe. We'll find out. Okay, that's the green wire. This is the one I'm going to figure out where it goes to. Now, if this light comes on, you know it's a hot wire. Assuming this is hot. Should be hot. Test it. There it goes. There's the headlight. We got power to the coil. Alright, so that's our hot wire right there. But the light's not coming on, so either got a bad ground. Well, that's not a good place to go to. Looks like it's a bad ground. There's a good ground right there. Obviously it's not a good ground because we have no connection. So why do we got a bad ground? Starting motor. The light bulb works. So I'm going to find a ground. There's a ground right there. I think we got a bad. Maybe we got a bad connection on my tool. That could be a problem. So right now we're hooked up. It should be on. It's not very good when your test tool doesn't work very good. Now it's on. I got a connection finally. Yep, still good. And no power there. Oop, power up there. So that does not go to there. This is our other hot big one here. So maybe this is it. Damn brown wire ain't working again. Need to fix my tool. Okay, we're striking out on the power sources. There's another one over here. Oh, there we go. Okay, so this is our battery wire here. Alright, so this comes off the battery. So this is where we hook our ground wire, or hot wire to. Now we can start checking. Now we have a source for juice. We know this doesn't work very good. That does work. Okay, now we got power. Start probing around to find some more juice. Okay, so we only got one power. Turn on our ignition up here, up top. We just turn this on up here, so. Okay, now our ignition should be on. We should have coil. We should have power to our coil. Right there, that's our coil wire. Goes down to our distributor. So we know the ignition's on right now. We should know there's power up here. There is. So we know the coil's energized. We have no power to this. It should be powered. We have no juice going to that. No power that. Nothing there, nothing there. Okay, so we have no juice. So there's a wire that's missing that we don't have hooked up to anything. And we just happen to have this wire laying here, we don't know where it goes. To figure that out. My guess is something is powering up the pike is missing. Should have power to this, which we don't. There it is. That is a very low power source. I think you can see the lights even coming on. It's a horrible connection. Oh, that's going to our idiot light, that's why. Okay, so we know where this wire goes. This wire goes down to our oil pressure switch, which is down here. Alright, so we know where that goes. What we don't know is where this goes to. Where this. I'm going to use my starter button up here. I'm going to go ahead and hit the button up here. And we'll see if we find our wire that goes down to down here. I'm thinking maybe this is the one that goes up the switch. There we go. So this is the starter wire going to our switch. Okay, so this is the power source coming down. That's going to go down to here. I got this red wire over here, which is in the wrong spot, I think. This is full time. Okay, this is our trigger wire from our coil. I mean, not for a coil, from our starter, from up the handlebar. This wire goes over to the solenoid over there, which energizes the starter system. It goes over there. Now, this wire here, which is connected down here, should be a full-time hot source, which right now has no wire going to anything. Where's my wire at? Now, this wire here could be going over to the solenoid to get power. It's cutting across like this and going up to our relay regulator right here. It has that shape to it. And the problem is that's not 3/8, that's 5/16. I don't think that'll even fit over there. No, it does not fit on that. So that's a 5/16 bolt. So this looks like some kind of a ground in. So this is probably our ground wire for our regulator. Yeah, there, that looks more like it. Okay, so that grounds out the regulator. That's what this wire is for. Okay, we still have no power source from the battery to the regulator, which is missing. I don't know why we don't have that. These are our generator. Okay, we know where that one goes. Put a red wire back in here. Okay, there's our red wire. Okay, here's a red wire that comes off the battery, tucked away, hidden. So I wonder what this powers up. So let's see if we connect that, what happens. That now has power. This still has power here. Okay, so this is the wire that goes to the regulator. We have power going to our battery cable, battery wire over here. Right down here. So right now we got the cable hooked to our battery wire because it's got a battery bolt on it. It's a good indicator. This has power to it right now full time. And the ignition switch up here is off. Right now that's not on. So this would be the wire that goes to our regulator. Now, right now we have no power down here because the ignition switch is off. Now we turn on the ignition switch. This comes on. Pretty dull, but it comes on. I don't know if you can even see it lighting up, it's so dull. Yep, there you go. And we should have power to this wire once we hook up this over there. What else do we got here? And this is going to be our on-off switch for the, so the ignition should be on too, which is over here. There we go. That's on, obviously. Okay, so everything is hooked up that way. Alright, so I got a pretty good idea where everything goes now. Just do a little diagnostic there. It helps to know how your systems work. If you know how the systems work, it's pretty easy to figure this stuff out. Okay. Get those wires apart. Alright, so this one's going to go, okay, let's get this out of the way. So right now we can go ahead and hook up the wires off of here. We know where this one goes, so get it out of the way. This one here has to work its way over here. This has to go behind all of these oil lines we stuck in here. It's just a matter of rooting stuff out of the way. Remember, there's an exhaust pipe that comes through here, so we have to keep that clear. Okay, that goes like that. This just hangs down here. Let's see, probably I can run that all the way underneath that line. Make it look a little bit prettier. Nope, don't have enough length to do it that way. There it goes. Go like that. Washer on there. Okay, so this is our idiot light switch for our oil pressure. Okay, that is now hooked up. So that one's done. Okay, now I get these regulator wires hooked up over here. And we had a ground wire that was right here that we need to hook up also to our regulator. Excuse me. Okay, that's going to come down to the back side here. And it's going to go down to one of these bolts over here. We've got plenty of length to play with all this. We got a ground wire going on top of our regulator. Oh, my little screwdriver's in it. My big screwdriver. There it is. Bad view of what I'm doing over here. Not sure how I'm going to make it where you can see what I'm doing at all, but basically we're hooking up the ground wire here for the regulator. Okay, it goes like that. Where's it at? Other side someplace. Okay, I'll go right there. We already had battery boxes ground. Yeah, this is the second ground. So this grounds everything off, regulator and a starter solenoid both. Oh, you piece of crap. Gotta be kidding. Stupid ass stud is unscrewing again. Alright. Alright, so this stud here is unscrewing out of the tranny again. I don't feel like dealing with it, so I'm just going to go over here into this stud over here. Hell with it. Tired of fighting it. It keeps fighting me, so I'm just going to go to something else. It's not my preferred spot to be at, but it'll work just fine. All the stuff I don't want to do. Just tighten up against the damn fitting. Alright. Put a washer back in here. Dab of Loctite. I don't know why that stud keeps unscrewing over there. I put red on it. Obviously it's not getting a good bite in aluminum. Oh well, that's why we got more studs. We got 9 studs to use. So. Okay, that's tight. Okay. It doesn't like the way it's bending up here. Go back up the top screw up here. I'm going to flip this wire over. Even though it's got a twist going this direction. I don't like how it sticks up in the air like that. So I'm going to flip it over and let it bend the other way. I don't like wires sticking up in the air for no reason. They should be laid down nice and tight, out of the way. Okay. Okay, that one's out of the way now. Okay, these two here need to go down to our starter relay. It's right down here. This needs to go scooting across over through here somehow. Our cable needs to be up out of the way. These need to go underneath the battery box. So these oil lines are in the, it should be behind these lines, not in, should be going behind these lines, not in front of them. So I'm going to go ahead and cut the zip tie here so I can rearrange this. This is not how I want it to be routed. There we go. So now this can come around the back side. That. It's got to go underneath. Separate that out of the way. Stick it underneath the bike. It comes in right over here. A little bit low, a little bit tight on clearances here. Usually the second wire is a trigger wire. The third wire is the output wire. But I might be backwards. Find out. Okay. Just get a red wire over here. Get the camera over close. You see what I'm doing. Now you're getting here these wires here. We know this one comes off the dash. It's hot. You want to go behind these wires. So that goes down to our bottom terminal, which is our battery terminal, I think. My flashlight went off too. Let's see. Yep, battery, armature, and field. Field's on top. That's why they mark this stuff so you know where it goes. If your memory doesn't remember. Okay, screws out. Goes through there. This one's right here. Gotta get a good shot of my head, I bet. You got to make sure the wires are routed nice and clean and not hitting on anything, getting jammed up on something else. Okay. Now we got 2 generator wires, which are, for some reason, don't seem to be long enough to get to where we need to go to. Let's go see what's going on the other side of the bike. Why are they too short? It looks like they're in the front of the generator. They need to go on the back of the generator. So I'll go back over here, take a look at it here. So, see how the wire is coming up here to the front. If it comes up the back, it's a shorter distance, give me more room. The field wire, which is this green one up here on top, is my problem. I can't reach the terminal. Can't get it up to here, it's not long enough. So if I make the green wire longer, where the wire is at, there they are. These are the wires right here. See, I need to go up a couple more inches. I don't have the room to get up there. So if I reroute this from going this way here to going around here, it'll be longer. It's just a matter of how you route the stuff. It all makes a difference. So. Okay, take that off, go around the other direction. Now the red wire might be too short now. Yeah, see, it's taking more distance to do it that way. So I think I'm just going to have to rotate them. Come over what the front of the generator would be. Taking about the same amount of distance to go either way, so just have to change how we do it. Change how this wire goes over here. This is our ED light switch wire. There you go. It lays up next to the frame a little better when I do it that way. I'll leave those loose. Something which you can do in the routing, it's under the primary. It's not like I can move it up any higher. Alright, I left those wires loose so I can come over here and play over here a little bit. So let's see if we can get the wires to stretch up a little higher now. They're just not long enough to get up to what I need to be. We're pulled taut. We don't have enough length. So something's different than how it was originally. I'm not sure. I don't think they would have ran across the top of the primary cover. That'd be kind of stupid. So I don't understand why we don't have any lengths that we need. You wouldn't think they would have went across the top of the motor here either. That's kind of not exactly the way you'd want to go either, but that might be the only option because it's not long enough to go this way. I think that's the way it goes though. Alright, let me look at this a little bit. I'll be back. I'll just try to figure out what I got to do to make it work. Okay, I got this pulled as taut as I can here, and we're just still too short here. So I'm about an inch short from being catching it, but I'm straight up. It's not supposed to be straight up like that. So right now I got this routed down through here, going behind the motor, way down the bottom of the frame, and then over across. So down in here, which I don't know if you can see, I got this hose right here, this puke hose, my vent. It's laying, I don't know if you can see in there or not. Anyway, it's laying down over in here. Anyway, there's a gap you can get through here with the cable coming up through here. You go across the primary tensioner boss. Instead of going under it, you go across the top and then coming back up. And that should save me a few inches, which is what I need to do. So it's hard to see in there. So I'm going to go ahead and pull out the cable from this side. So I think it's easier to push it down than trying to push it up. So I'm going to pull this out and see if I can route that differently and get what I need. Of course, it'd be a lot easier if the primary cover was off, but I ain't pulling that damn thing apart. So we're going to go ahead and try to see if we can make this work. I don't want to run across the top or the here on that side. That's just stupid. So we got a lot of slop going on under here for some reason. It's not exactly a slip and fit down there, it feels like. Okay. Yeah, it's pretty tight. Alright. That was kind of jammed in there a little bit. Yeah, we just go like that and call it done, right? Yeah, right across the top. Perfect. That's easy to do. But I'm not going to do it that way. Alright, so try to run this across here. First thing I got to do is get this bent line up out of the way a little bit. Okay, it's about as far out of the way as it's going to get. So if I eliminate how far those stick out here, that should make it a little bit easier to fish it down to where I need to go. Not that it's going to be easy. Yeah, this thing just folding up like this, which is not helping me any. Alright, I'm going to pull it all the way over now. Found the hole. I found the hole, boss. Ooh, look at that, right down there. Bitchin'. Okay. I found the hole right under here. So there's the two wires. Right here. Oh shit, stupid ass tripod. Alright. Tripods suck. I think I mentioned that more than once. I can't show you what I'm doing very easily because I got to use multiple hands. Okay, they pop through right under here. Here's our brake line right here. So I'm going to try to get through here. Get hooked onto that. And try to drag that forward. See that? Okay, I'm going to have to push it from the top a little bit. Camera goes down, pushing to the top. Okay, I got a little bit more length until I ran into my brake switch here. Okay, now I need to get this around the back side under here, like that. And I need to come up on this side with my hooking tool here. Let's see here. I think you get at least one of these wires right there. Ooh, they're both right together. Can't hook both at once, though. Trying. It's a depth perception test. Failing. I was a fail on that one. Passed. I hooked them. Okay, so I put the camera down again. Fish it through with both hands. There we go. Okay, so we got that fish through again. Now, I don't know if I got enough. I don't know if that helped me any. It'd be nice if it did, but. Okay, now I'm on the wrong side of the shift shaft here, shift linkage. So I have to get that on the other side of this. Fish this up through here. Fun to do with one hand, obviously. Fish that through. Okay, I'm going to need both my hands to work this. Try to work some magic here. Doesn't look like I'm gaining much length. So maybe with all this work, we're not going to gain anything. Who knows? You never know. we might luck out. Okay, so get this out of the way. Move the shifter back a little bit. Wiggle, wiggle. There you go. Just find a speedo cable behind the vent tube, behind the coil wire. Push like crazy. Pull and some length back over there. Okay. Alright. I don't know if that helped or hurt. Didn't make any difference, but I'm going to hook the wires up over here. Try to see if it got any advantage to what we needed to do or not. Soak up our length. All right. Don't think we gained a whole hell of a lot. Tripod, quit screwing with me. So there's our wires way over there. So we gained 1 inch. Just enough. If we pull them tight, it'll just make it there like that. The only problem is it shouldn't be that hard to do it. So my guess is there's something wrong here. Obviously it doesn't look like this is supposed to go this direction, because there's no damn way Harley would have made this where you had to pull it that taut to get to your darn regulator. You remember this exhaust pipe goes right through here, so you're taking up the space where the exhaust pipe is supposed to be. So that means it doesn't work this way. And we can't get any more tightness under there, so that means it didn't route this way. It had to be routed some other way. So the only other option is across the top of the motor here, or top motor over on the other side. So I'm going to guess it's on the other side. There's just no way. We're too short. This doesn't work. There's just no way Harley would have done this crap like this. So that means we have to redo it. Okay. We do got where it comes out easy though. It's 1 plus. Okay, so I'm going to go on the other side of the bike. And see if we can make it work over there. Need a couple lock washers too, and how many lock washers over here? Need to put a couple lock washers on these generator nuts right here. So, I'll lay this right over here. Okay, so now this thing here would go through like this. Boom, 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 boom. Across here, up here, and voila, we have plenty of length now to hook up our cables over here. Camera, you can see it here. So now we're way over here. So we got tons of length. We got an extra 5 inches in here. So we got room to route this a little bit differently here. It looks like it probably goes underneath the distributor wire. We can go ahead and bring this down underneath. Come up underneath here, which will suck up some of the length. It'll also get it away from the exhaust system. So you put that up under there like that, and now the length is just about right. See, goes up just about where it belongs. So there you go. Just had to change things around a little bit. It's just a matter of figuring out what you got to do to make it work. There's that wire over there. Okay, I'm going to go get me a couple of lock washers and I'll be back.